Hey everyone, welcome back to John's Watch. Today I'm going to be taking a look at an upcoming game called Kingdom of Night. This game is going to be released on December 2nd, 2025, and it's developed by Friends of Safety and published by Dangen Entertainment and Game Source Entertainment. The Steam description says, hunt down nightmarish demons and save the town of Miami, Arizona in this 80s-themed isometric action RPG. With an expansive, interconnected map and open-ended quests, explore freely while unraveling the main story. Kingdom of Night is a unique blend of coming-of-age drama, cosmic horror, and true love. So yeah, this game covers quite a bit of ground. The art style, that blurb really interested me, and so I requested a review code for it and got a pre-release one, and as of time of recording, I put in 3 hours to it. At the start of the game, you name your character, and you also name her and then 2 other people. Basically, you name yourself, the protagonist, the girl your character has a crush on, as well as 2 other characters that you don't know who they are at the start, but they're by default Jimmy and Veronica, I think. These are basically just the 4 most important people to the story, so it's really nice that you can actually rename 4 of the characters. The game starts with you waking up in your classroom in detention. You've just been having a dream, and you wake up to be greeted by a guest speaker from the Friends of Safety organization, and they're basically purported to be looking out for public safety. You know, the guy comes in, he's dressed in cult robes, but don't worry about that, I'm sure that's totally fine. He comes in and he basically says, you know, stick to the curfew, because there's a nighttime curfew, because things can be dangerous. Don't go into the old mines, and that's about it. And obviously, everybody in the school instantly breaks the curfew because there is a party at another student, Daniel's, house. After this, you can then walk around the school a little bit. You can grab a couple of healing items from fridges and garbage cans. Most of your healing items do indeed come from garbage cans. Then you can go to the gym, where you're greeted by presumably the school bully, Jimmy, that you were able to name, or in my case, just leave him as Jimmy, in the opening. Just gives you a very quick combat tutorial. I played on controller, because I started up, and it said, like, real heroes play with controller. I was like, sure, I'll do it. You can switch between combat mode and non-combat mode by either holding left trigger or toggling left trigger. I changed it to toggle. Then you can dash with A by default, but I was able to rebind that to B, no problem. Once you've got a melee weapon equipped, you can attack with X. You're also given a very quick magic tutorial after this, and I got a couple of notes and tips with my review code, and they said, you know, first-time players, probably just go with a straight-up melee build. It's a lot simpler. If players are interested in a more challenging, advanced build, they could go for a magic build. And it really is night and day between those two. Melee build is, you lock onto someone, you press X to melee attack. Bish bash bosh, done. For magic, you hold down right bumper to look at your spell list. And when you're in combat, you press various combinations of A, B, and Y. And depending on what order you press the 3 in, that will start you casting a specific spell. So you'll cast something different if you do like YYB compared to YYA. So that, you know, things like that. Once you've got your spell, I don't know, activated, ready to cast, you press X to cast it. It definitely seemed a lot more complicated, so I just decided to go for a melee build. You can then leave the school and go home, and you're too shy to go to the party, so you just go home. But then the game cuts to your crush, basically the second girl, or the first girl, the second character from the intro, who gets abducted by this weird-looking gargoyle creature called the Abductor. And your character then wakes up from a nightmare, goes outside and sees that your family dog, or your dog I guess, is barking outside of your crush's house. When you go into the house, you find that obviously your crush is missing, but there's an old wizardy looking man there, and he basically tells you, go back to your house, get equipped, and then meet me at this bar downtown. So then when you go back to your house, you can go to your cupboard and you basically choose, do you want to do melee or do you want to do magic? And it even says there again, melee is, more simple, good for first time playthrough, magic is more advanced. I just stuck with melee. You then start heading towards the party and you run into Jimmy, your bully again, who has just crashed a car and a cop's there pulling him over. Jimmy runs away, leaving his drunk friend with the cop. But then a weird zombie creature attacks, and that's when kind of everything kicks off, really. The cop tells you to go to the party that you were skipping out on, to go call for help, and you fight a couple of monsters along the way. You go to the party, you talk to everybody there, and yeah, that's really when the game opens up. And that first 45 minutes or so, I thought it was fantastic. Huge Stranger Things vibes, but more grown up. You're teenagers, you're in high school compared to being, I don't remember how old they were meant to be when they started Stranger Things, 10 or something, and now they're 25. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed the first 45 minutes or so. I was like, this is going to be something really special. And then once it opened up, I just instantly found it far too overwhelming. It really felt like the store page description says it's an expansive, interconnected map, open-ended quests, and I think I just personally would have preferred a little bit more linearity, especially at the start of the game. When you meet back up with the old man, he tells you what's going on. Basically, 4 demon lords have been unleashed, and your main quest is to go eliminate those 4 demon lords. And he even tells you which of the 4 is the weakest, so you kind of have a good idea of which quest you want to tackle first, although you're totally free to do it in any order you want. I spent the rest of my time playing the game just aiming to get to this first demon lord. I don't think I even got close to him in the next 2.5 hours. In fact, in the entire time I was playing, I managed to complete 1 side quest. It was completely optional, just kind of stumbled across it. And I was really trying to, I don't know, be a bit more directed, I guess. I wanted to do some of the story stuff, but the map is just massive. Not only can you walk from street to street, you can also go underneath the streets into the sewers, and the sewers are just huge. It also doesn't help that every time you enter a building or enter a room, just anywhere where you have to do a black screen to transition to a new area. Whenever you go back to the previous area, every monster you've killed will respawn, which is a little bit annoying. Towards the end of my 3 hours, I was definitely just running past all the monsters already, which is kind of disappointing. 3 hours in, I already felt like there wasn't too much point in doing any combat whatsoever. Especially because this is an RPG, so you gain experience and gain levels and sort of get skill points, I guess. You have this skill tree, and you choose your class, you choose where, what kind of a build you want to do. You can do a guts build, which is more dex, sneaky kind of stuff, so you could be a rogue. Because I was melee, I was doing the muscle stat, and I could choose between a knight or a barbarian. I chose barbarian because that sounded just kind of cool, just unga bunga smash things. And when you level up, you're greeted with this sort of skill tree, except it's not a tree, there's just one choice every level until I think level 10 is when you get kind of to choose a new subclass. But it was a strange way of leveling, where you're just given, this is your choice for the level. I mean, this is what you're getting for the level. It also very quickly becomes apparent that, again, there's not much point in doing the combat because you get so little experience compared to what you need to level. I think, just fighting, the level 2 zombies or whatever, they were given, 30 experience or something. And one of the side quests I did, I think it gave me 4,000 experience, and that still wasn't enough for a level. So I was like, why am I bothering fighting these guys? I think when I started it up, just the vibe I got from the prologue was that this could be a pretty tight 10-hour experience. You do your main quest, explore the town a little bit, you got a few side quests. That was just the vibe I got from the opening. But looking at the Steam page, again, where it says it's an expansive map, open-ended quests, explore freely while unraveling the main story, I don't think it's going to be 10 hours. I think this is probably going to be a lot longer. So I think as long as you know that's what you're going to get when you buy it, I think you'll be fine. It was just too expensive for me. I wanted a bit more direction, and even when I tried giving myself direction, still wasn't able to make like any progress at all. It's a shame because, yeah, the first hour or so I was like, this is awesome. I am absolutely loving this. People need to know about this game. And then by like hour 2 and hour 3 especially, I was like, I'm done with this. I just need to record my video and move on. Yeah, I personally wish it was scaled down a little bit. The map doesn't need to be as big as it is. But yes, if you know you're getting an expansive game that you're going to put many hours into, apparently, I think as long as you know that, you'll probably enjoy it. There you go, that was a look at Kingdom of Night. Thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!